Yes, and Amber Sainsbury hit the headlines in a big way when she was allegedly being romanced by Josh Hartnett, who was at the time seeing Hollywood It Girl, Scarlett Johansson. Amber says it was all tosh, and she's making the media take notice of her for quite different reasons these days. Last night at a high-end event at a South Africa house in London, she launched a charity for some of South Africa's poorest children, and Belinda Henley was there.
F.W. de Klerk, South Africa's reclusive former president, but tonight Amber Sainsbury's most important guest. He'd made the trip to London just to lend his support to Amber's charity and even posed for a photo. The launch of Dramatic Need is the result of a year's hard work and intense planning by Amber. It's a journey which began when she took a holiday in South Africa and offered to help teach at a farm school in the Free State.
I taught the only thing I knew, which was acting, and I got these kids to make papier-mâché masks and talk about the people they'd lost and loved and people, friends of theirs or family members who had died, and I found them completely open up. I mean, these children became totally different beings and really started to kind of embrace the idea, and they built these masks, and some of them wouldn't take them off and walked all the way home, which is a 2-hour walk with these masks and made out of sugar syrup, I might add, in the baking sun, and I thought, this really works.
The visit inspired Amber to set up her charity, which will send actors, musicians, directors and artists to schools in South Africa to work with children in the most remote communities.
In early 2007, I set out to meet 32 rural and township schools in the Free State and Northwest provinces in the Republic of South Africa. All these schools had signed up to Dramatic Need, a volunteer program designed to bring creative opportunities to underprivileged kids and encourage the emergence of a new generation of talented, expressive young South Africans.
Among those lending their support is Trainspotting director Danny Boyle, one of the trustees of the charity.
She's got a lot of charm, Amber, but she's also very bright, intelligent, and enormous drive and application. And I think sometimes, particularly in Britain, we like that a bit, you know. She absolutely, I think it happens with people who come from somewhere else. They're able to apply themselves. And so she certainly is. And she's able to generate something basically out of nothing. So it comes out of a whim, out of an idea. And suddenly all these people, these wonderful photographs and this amazing evening, you know, and people begin to talk about it.
American actor Josh Hartnett met Amber when they worked together on a film in New Zealand. He hopes to teach at some of the schools himself.
Right now it's about garnering funds, trying to get people to donate. And once that occurs, then yeah, a bunch of us will go down there. When I have time, I will go.
Last year, Amber and Josh's friendship attracted the attention of the international tabloids.
I had a run-in, it was a complete misunderstanding, and it was difficult for everybody involved because it was so incorrect. I mean, it was just, and it was quite intrusive in terms of my family and things like that. So a learning curve, one thing, experience I wouldn't want to repeat, also another thing.
But this time Amber is using the media on her terms to garner attention for Dramatic Need, and she is stepping out of the acting spotlight to do so.
Help me. This storm came up.
She does have a couple of films in the pipeline though. Amber will next be seen in Sione wedding director Chris Graham's new film, The Ferryman.
It was a tough shoot, really tough, full-on shoot, and everybody really kind of put their hard graft in, and it was fun. We had a great time.
With an impressive turnout of London's society elite, the event could hardly have been more successful. Donations aside, more than $30,000 was raised through the auction of these iconic South African photos. Amber says she'd love for some Kiwi artists to get behind Dramatic Need.
If you're a musician or an actor or an artist, you can fill in an application form. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. You can fill one online and send it off. If you think it's a good idea and you want to contribute in some way, they can also donate online, which really matters to us because we're a spring chicken charity, and it's really been a result of sort of blood, sweat and tears and 100 favours and 1,000 good deeds. So anything that somebody can contribute will help.
Belinda Henley, before we leave you tonight, here's the feedback log for the week.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
It's a friendly call.
Talking to me? Here is
the feedback log.
Sometimes you might find a story a little baffling, or perhaps completely astonishing.
My word!
But we always aim to captivate you with stories like these.
Workers in the US who've eaten a poppy seed bagel or roll have returned a positive drug test.
Margot writes, hands off my poppy seeds. She enjoys sprinkling them on her bread and doesn't want their reputation tarnished.
Poppies!
Keith, however, recommends trying a touch of nutmeg for another culinary tip. And Rosie loved watching the banana tart tartare, but she questioned whether the recipe contained any opiates that we failed to disclose.
Oh, look at that!
There you go. The Prime Minister's attendance at Faleli Muliaga's funeral did not go down quite as smoothly with some viewers. Jeremy's question was it a cynical profile-raising event for her? While others are just tired of the media coverage of this story. And another case to trigger response.
A gun shop in Penrose, Auckland, 29-year-old Ricky Beckham walks in
The
producing
charges
a large
against Greg
machete
Carville,
bag.
which were thrown out of court.
He said, Dad, he said, I've just had to shoot somebody. And I says, you what?
Jeff writes, I can't believe a man can have a loaded pistol, shoot someone with it, and not have committed a crime. But Alan thinks it was good to see the court do something right for once. TV3 gets 164,000 emails a day. 148,000 never make it past our spam filters. The spam that can reads strangely indeed. Kitty, a fair but frozen maid, kindled a flame I yet deplore. The hood, but united. What reverse we have, etc., etc. These bizarre emails are yet another tactic in the spam game of cat and mouse. Spammers have created programs which spit out these randomly generated texts as a way of disguising their spam as something less offensive. Offensive is how some felt about this new show. It sure got the phones running hot with hot and bothered callers.
Not bad.
You people are exposing our children and elderly people to vulgar behaviour.
Naked women and no bras, this is a very 60s thing. What a botch up!
Yeah, look, I watched your new show. Look,